Good Wednesday, still morning. It's a little bit later, and I've been doing some other things in my office today, but now it is time to exercise. A lot of us are cooped up at home, and if you're used to going to the gym and pushing the weights, free weights, and maybe you don't know what to do now, you've got options. This right here is your total workout, and I'm going to show you what you can do with that. Now, I do body weight exercise with kids because that is the best way for them to learn how to manage their bodies. One of the reasons why I'm wearing my ninja shirt. Your kids can do this with you. So what I show you, have your kids do them with you. Have them try to do their best. We want them to learn how to manage their bodies, manage their body weight. They don't have a lot of core strength, so some of the things are hard for them, but we want them to move, and the best way for them to learn how to move is for you to move and for you to do these exercises. So a couple times a week, 3 times a week, you can do these at home. Now, you can start out pretty easy by doing each exercise for, say, 15 seconds and rotating through them, and then adding to 30 seconds and going through them. And try to do them 2 to 3 times. It doesn't have to take a lot of time, but do something. Get yourself moving, go for walks. I have stairs just beyond this wall over here. You can go up and down the stairs, run around the house. So you have options. You don't have to go to the gym. This is a great way to start. And we're going to start out, we want to warm up. And if you don't have a medicine ball like I'm going to show you, you can use a can of soup. You can use just something in your hands to get you moving. Now, I'm not going to do the complete workout for time. I just want to show you the exercises you can do. I'll name them. You can write them down, do the sequence. We're going to do a circuit where you do each one, and we're going to go all the way through. I'll show some modifications with each one, but I want you to be able to work out at home. You don't need weights. You've got it right here. This was developed from a sport-specific warm-up. So if you have a ball, even if it's a light ball, it doesn't matter, something that you can hold in your hands, a can of soup might be a little bit harder, a kettlebell. Kettlebells, I've done this with kettlebells. This is a really light one. But something for your hands just to get the blood flowing in your body. So you're going to go around your body and then change directions. And while you're doing this, you can move back and forth, keep your feet moving. And then from around your body, under your knees, so you're marching. So around your body, under your knees, and then you're going to warm up shoulders. You can do 2 hands. Again, keep yourself moving back and forth. You can then go to 1 hand or 1 arm, and then switch. Then you can go to an arm curl and straight arm. And you can actually, the one that I just showed you where we're just doing an overhead, you can do the whole thing and just replace that. Other side. I want to hold it up high, walk on your tippy toes, back and forth, get your calves engaged. Walking on your toes, then behind your back, lift up, stretch your shoulders out, walk on your heels. then from there, you can go do a lunge, go under your leg, reverse it. So that's just a quick warm up. You can use the ball. You can go side to side. So you're wanting to get your muscles, get blood flowing into your muscles and get warmed up. So that's really important before you get started doing these exercises, is getting yourself warmed up. Now this is with a medicine ball. And if I don't drop it, I've done that before. It's a little harder if you've got just a handle. But again, you can do around the body, under the knees, overhead. So same thing that we just did with the medicine ball. You can do it. The medicine ball is a little bit easier. So that's one warm-up. If you don't have a ball or something to hold in your hands, you can do a burpee as a warm-up. And there's modifications for that. I'm going to use the table for the first part of it, just a whole body exercise. If you do yoga and you're familiar with the sun salutation, it's very similar to that. But a burpee is a great way to do your warm-up as well. So squat, shout, push up, so that's a modification if you don't want to get down all the way on the floor. And then of course all the way down. Same thing, up and down. You know, do 10, 15, 20 of those. That's pretty sure that's going to get you warmed up. And then you can do the sun salutation for a yoga warm-up if you're familiar with that. All right, so we've warmed up our body, we've gotten the blood flowing. Now we're going to go through some of our exercises. First one being a push-up. Now, if you can't do a push-up, I've showed before on doing a modification for the push-up. One of them, as far as not using your whole body weight, you can do a wall push-up. Get lower. And then again on the floor, all the way down. All right, if you can't do those, just try to hold your body in a straight arm plank, which we'll do in just a little bit because we're going to do a plank with modifications. Then we're going to do alternate kind of upper body, lower body. And I did forget to tell you, this body weight exercise, I found this probably 20 years ago when I was looking at the way the military exercises. This is actually a Marine exercise. They're out in the woods, they need to stay fit, and they have each other. They actually do this with modifications with partners. So they're able to add extra weight to what they're doing. But this Marine exercise is a great way to just use your body weight. The military does it. It should be good enough for us. So we got push-ups, we got squats. Now the squats, you want to keep your body upright, and the lower you can go, the better. But if you don't have a lot of hip mobility, and if your knees are going to be going forward, you might only want to do just a partial squat. But you want to make sure you're pushing back as you're going down. The reason I'm putting my hands behind my head is to keep my body upright. Okay, so get down and up. All right, so real easy. Again, body weight. If you have kettlebells, you can hold the kettlebell and do what they might call a sumo squat. So you have push-ups, you've got a squat, and this is called a land swim. I call it a land swim because we actually, in Stretch and Grow, we did Superman swimming to a boat. So it was 3 exercises. Superman being you just lay on the floor, and then our boat exercise. So we have which is the exercise, the boat, which is actually a yoga pose, and we incorporate those. The land swim is your arms moving, so you're engaging your shoulders, your upper back, lower back, glutes, hamstrings, so you're getting a lot of those posterior muscles. So this is what the land swim, or in the military, arm haulers look like. All right, so you've got, we've done push-up, squat, land swims, and then you've got a lunge. Lunges, there's a variety of ways you can do a lunge. If you've never done a lunge or it's been a while, I would suggest doing a stationary lunge. Takes balance, just make sure you're splitting your knee over your ankle, dropping those hips till your knee just touches the floor. And then switching legs. So that would be the easiest to start out with. And then you can do a walking lunge. You can do a four-way lunge if you want to add to it. So you're forward, backwards, sideways. So getting a lot of movement in there. And then if you want something even harder, you can do, it's a lunge, but they call it a split squat. Very dynamic, much more difficult for your body. You get in your lunge and you split. So that's more advanced. I wouldn't do that if you're just starting out. All right, dive bomber. This is a hard one. If you have shoulder problems, don't do this. I can show you somewhat of a modification of it, but the dive bomber is very hard on the shoulders. It's a good exercise, but it's very hard on the shoulders. And if you have limited mobility, don't do it. But if you want to think about having a fence, and you have to go under the fence, So that's the idea of what a dive bomber looks like. A modification would just be holding the position so that you're isolating and stabilizing the shoulder muscles. All right, so there you have it, dive bomber. If you really want something hard, you can put your feet up on the wall and do kind of an upside down shoulder stand push-up. I'm not doing that. That's too advanced for me, and very hard on my shoulders. All right, now plank. So we talked earlier about modifications for the push-up. The plank, you have a straight arm plank. This is what I teach kids before they learn how to do push-ups. Just holding your body, trying to keep your body straight, engaging the core, abs, low back. And then you can actually go down to your elbows. And if you want to do both, you can add this. All right, so that would be a plank with modifications to make it harder. Grasshopper jump. This is a squat with a jump. This is what I teach the kids. And they can remember the grasshopper because it's an animal. They like insects. So grasshopper jump. I don't have the ceiling height, but like I said, don't have the ceiling height. So you get in your grasshopper position, you jump. Now if you don't want the dynamic part of it, where you're actually jumping off the ground, you can go up on your toes and then back down. Up on your toes and back down. All right, dead bug. Now, this is one I teach the kids. Instead of doing crunches, sit-ups, we do the dead bug. And you can also turn this into a bilateral movement. So this is the dead bug. Just holding the position. And then to make it harder, you alternate arms. All right, very good. And then the bird dog, which is just the opposite. A lot of the kids that try to do this, if you're doing this with your kids, if you replay this and do this with your kids, they a lot of them, they can't do the opposite, and they end up doing this and falling over. So it's something to work on, bilateral movements for your kids and doing their opposites. All right. So I showed you the warm-ups, push-up, squat, land swim, lunges, dive bomber, plank, grasshopper, dead bug, bird dog, and we warmed up with the burpee. So it gives you 10 exercises that you can do on your own. And this will be on Facebook, but I am also going to upload it to my YouTube page so that you can replay it and go through these, write them down. I wouldn't do them by repetitions, I would do it by time. So start out with doing each one for 15 seconds, and then each one for 30 seconds, and then 45, and just rotate through and do them all in a circuit, and then do them all again, and try to get 2 to 3 times in one session, and then do that 2 to 3 times a week. Warm up really good before you do that. Drink water, get hydrated as well, and I hope this helps you. Do it with your kids. You don't need any equipment. They're not going to be throwing weights around, balls and stuff like that. Just try to go through it, see if your kids will do it with you. If you want a harder push-up, put your kids on your back. Put them on your shoulders and do squats. So there's ways that you can do this and make it harder, make it fun for the kids. So thank you. Email me at impactouryouth@gmail.com. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment on this Facebook page. Go to Tim Good Impact Training Academy for YouTube, and you can find this once I upload it, and lots more videos that I have on exercises that you can do. Thanks a lot. Have a great